The crystalline chambers of the Galactic Council stretched upward into geometric impossibility, their surfaces reflecting the light of 1,000 distant stars. Ambassador James Morrison stood at the center of the vast assembly hall, his simple black suit a stark contrast to the elaborate ceremonial garbs of the alien delegates surrounding him. He had come in peace, carrying humanity's formal petition for membership in the council that governed 300 civilized worlds. The Supramarch, a towering being of translucent flesh and pulsing bioluminescence, raised one of its 7 appendages for silence. The creature's voice resonated through the chamber like the tolling of ancient bells. The human representative will now present Earth's case for inclusion in our August assembly. Morrison cleared his throat and began the speech he had practiced 1,000 times. He spoke of humanity's achievements, their journey from cave dwellers to space travelers in mere millennia, their art and music, their capacity for both logic and emotion. He presented data cubes containing the sum of human knowledge, offerings of technology, and proposals for mutual benefit. The council listened in what Morrison hoped was thoughtful silence. When he finished, the delegates turned to each other, their various forms of communication creating a cacophony of clicks, hums, and color changes. The Vorthon delegate, a creature resembling a massive crystalline spider, tapped its forelegs against the floor in what Morrison had learned was their equivalent of laughter. Primitives, it declared, its voice like grinding glass. They still rely on chemical propulsion and binary computing. Their lifespans barely exceed a century. What could such ephemeral beings offer us? The Kalari representative, floating in its environmental sphere of methane, pulsed orange with agreement. They wage war among themselves. They poison their own atmosphere. They are chaos incarnate, Morrison stepped forward. We acknowledge our imperfections, but we come seeking knowledge and friendship. Our diversity of thought, our adaptability, these are strengths we offer freely. The Supremarch's bioluminescence dimmed to a cold blue. You misunderstand your position, human. You were not invited here to join us. You were summoned to receive our judgment. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Morrison's hand instinctively moved toward the emergency beacon in his pocket, but he forced himself to remain still. Judgment for what crime? For existing, the Supremarch replied simply. Your species represents a contamination of ordered space. Your chaotic nature, your unpredictability, your dangerous potential for growth. The Council has decided Earth will be sterilized. Morrison's training kicked in. He remained outwardly calm even as his mind raced. You speak of order, yet you would commit genocide without cause? We have attacked no one. We seek only peaceful coexistence. The Vorthon delegate scuttled forward. The decision is final. You will remain here as our guest while the cleansing fleet is dispatched. It is a mercy that your people will not see their end coming. Morrison activated the beacon. The small device would send a faster-than-light pulse directly to Earth Command, a simple message that would change everything. I see. May I ask how long my people have? Your world rotates approximately 400 times before our fleet arrives, the Kalari answered. Time enough for you to accept the inevitable. Morrison nodded slowly. I thank the Council for this clarity. He paused, allowing himself a small smile. You have made a mistake. The Supramarch's appendages writhed with what might have been amusement. Threats from a doomed species? How quaint. Not a threat, Morrison replied. A statement of fact. You see, humanity has a peculiar trait. When faced with extinction, we do not accept it. We rage against it, and we have had 50 years to prepare for this possibility. The council chamber erupted in various forms of laughter. The Vorthon's translator struggled with its mirth. 50 years. We have existed for millions of your years. Our technology spans galaxies. What could your species possibly do in 50 years? Morrison straightened his tie. We studied. Every transmission you sent to your frontier worlds. Every energy signature, every material composition of your ships that passed through our system. We reverse-engineered technologies from crashed probes you did not know we recovered. But more importantly, we did something you cannot understand. We unified. The laughter died. The Supremarch leaned forward. Explain. Every nation on Earth, every corporation, every scientific mind, all working toward a single goal. Survival. We call it the Annihilation Protocol. If Earth falls, we take you with us. The Kalari sphere bubbled violently. Impossible. You lack the technology, the resources. Morrison pulled out a small device, causing several guards to raise their weapons. He held up a hand. Just a projector. An image appeared in the air showing a star chart. Recognize this system? The Supreme Arch's color shifted to something Morrison had never seen before. Fear, perhaps. The Vorthan homeworld. Correct. Now observe. The image zoomed in, showing what appeared to be empty space near the system's sun. 3 days ago, we activated the first of our insurance policies. 40,000 microsatellites, each no larger than your smallest measurement unit, currently orbit your star, undetectable by your sensors because they emit no energy. They are purely mechanical, waiting. The Vorthan delegate's legs clicked frantically. Waiting for what? For Earth to miss its daily check-in. When that happens, they activate. Each one carries a payload of strange matter contained in magnetic fields. Your star goes nova in minutes. The Council erupted in chaos. Morrison raised his voice. The Kalari homeworld has a different surprise. Nanobots in your methane atmosphere. Dormant for now. The Revik system has antimatter bombs hidden in the asteroids you mine. Every single one of your core worlds has a doomsday device already in place. You lie, the Supreme Arch hissed. We would have detected them. Morrison shook his head. You looked for threats that matched your understanding of warfare. Energy weapons, large ships, quantum signatures. You never looked for purely mechanical devices hidden in plain sight. Human engineering at its most creative. We call them dead man switches. The Vorthan lunged forward but stopped as Morrison held up the beacon. I would not recommend violence. This device is monitoring my vitals. If I die, Earth receives a very different message. The protocol activates immediately. You would destroy billions of innocents? The Kalari asked, its translator conveying horror. You just condemned my entire species to death for the crime of existing, Morrison replied coldly. 8 billion souls. Yes, we would return the favor. This is what you failed to understand about humanity. We are capable of terrible things when cornered, but we prefer peace. The Supreme Arch stood to its full height. You dare threaten the Galactic Council? I offer a choice, Morrison corrected. Send your fleet to Earth, and yes, you will destroy us. But 12 hours after our last city falls, your civilizations end. 300 worlds reduced to cosmic dust. Or we can choose differently. Silence fell across the chamber. Morrison continued. Humanity withdraws its petition for membership. We want nothing from you now. We will develop on our own in our own space. You leave us alone, we leave you alone. But know this, we are watching. Every ship you build, every weapon you test, we will match it. Every colony you establish, we will place our own insurance nearby. The Supreme Arch's lights pulsed rapidly. You cannot maintain such vigilance forever. You will slip, Morrison smiled. Perhaps. But remember what you called us, chaos incarnate, unpredictable. Do you really want to gamble 300 worlds on predicting what humans will do? We survived ice ages with sticks and stones. We split the atom before we invented the microprocessor. We sent people to our moon using computers less powerful than the device in my pocket. Imagine what we will do with proper motivation. The council members communicated frantically among themselves. Finally, the Supreme Arch spoke. The sterilization fleet will be recalled. Earth will be marked as a quarantine zone. No council species will enter your space. Morrison nodded. Acceptable. But know that we will be watching. Any ship that crosses into our territory will be considered an act of war. And our protocol remains active, forever. You have doomed your species to isolation, the Vorthan spat. You will never know the glory of galactic civilization. Morrison walked toward the exit, then paused. We will make our own glory, and perhaps in time you will learn what you missed by choosing fear over friendship. Humanity offered you our hand in peace. You chose to bare your teeth. Remember that when you look at the stars and wonder what we are building in the darkness. As Morrison's ship departed the station, he sent a coded message to Earth. The protocol would remain active, but dormant. Humanity would grow, would spread, would become something the Council could never have imagined. They had wanted to join the galactic community as equals. Now they would surpass it as survivors. The Council had made their choice. Now humanity would make theirs, and the galaxy would never be the same.